Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm probably not going to have this up in the morning in the East Coast, probably be morning in the West Coast and all that. But anyway, just a quick disclaimer here. I don't really have a script for any of this. I'm just going to be, rambling on until I decide to hit the stop button. So my apologies for any like stuttering and all sort of thing. And if it sounds like I'm just absolutely done with myself, it's because I am. I barely got any sleep between recording this and last night. I just couldn't fall asleep. I managed to sneak in a few hours, and then I just woke back up. I check my Twitter feed, because that's like one of the first things I do every time I wake up is just check the Twitter, see how the world's doing. It's not on fire or anything like that. And then I see like 2 hours ago, at the time of getting up, that the Sonic movie trailer dropped. Well, the second one dropped with the new redesign. And I was like, oh, all right, now I gotta get up, watch this trailer, and do this video because some people are going to be asking me about it. So I have to do this now. So I've watched the new trailer, and I gotta say, it's a complete 180 from last time. And I know the biggest problem with the initial trailer was the design of Sonic. And I think everybody has already beaten that horse to death. Everyone knows what everyone else thinks about it. It was just not a good design. I didn't think it was a good design, whatever. Past that, and Gangster's Paradise, it looked like it was just going to be, your average kid's film. Jim Carrey looked like he was going to be carrying that entire movie. And I say that as a Jim Carrey fan, of course. I love that man's work. After the initial backlash and when Paramount said that, okay, we're going to just take this design, throw it out the trash, and we're going to give you guys something you're a little more familiar with. It was a moment of celebration, but almost like immediately after it was cause for concern because we're thinking this movie's still out in like 6 months at the time of the trailer's original upload. And it's like, can you imagine the kind of strain and just rigorous workload that the animators and the artists, everyone behind the scenes has to go through just to meet this deadline. But then they go ahead and announce that the movie's getting delayed by a considerable amount. Like, it's supposed to come out in November, like last week actually, and then it's slated for like Valentine's Day. The perfect couples film, Sonic the Hedgehog. Should be a magical time. But so the delay was a good move. Like, it was really good. I still think that in some ways, like, there was still a lot of pressure and crunch in the animators and artists' work schedules, everyone behind the scenes basically. And I hope that it was, if it means anything for me, like it was time and effort well spent, because Sonic looks amazing in this. Like, kudos to everyone behind the scenes. You did really good on making your own version of Sonic the Hedgehog while still keeping true to like the original design. He has his white gloves, he has his shoes, his eyes, very expressive, very cartoony. A plus. Like, I mean that. This is A plus design. Job well fucking done. But that's just some design. Like, the trailer itself, the way it's cut, the way it's sold to us, is almost also a complete 180 from last time. I feel that the first trailer was trying too hard to be, on the nose with what Sonic was, like, conceptually as like a 90s video game mascot. So, we put in Gangster's Paradise because that's from the 90s. It should fit. It didn't. It didn't fit at all. So not only is this trailer using more appropriate music, you can argue sometimes a little too on the nose with the choices they made, but it is way more kinetic. It is just full of energy. And that is the kind of thing I'd imagine I would. I know it. I should know what I would expect from a Sonic movie trailer, but what other people would expect from Sonic. You think of high speed, energy, thrills, and spills. Like it's an amusement park ride basically, and that's what this trailer is. It's an amusement park ride. You see like the beginning of Sonic running through a beautiful looking like rendition of Green Hill Zone, and I'm like, they brought Green Hill back again. No, but seriously, like for a live action movie, well, it looks all CGI, but for like the live action adaptation, Green Hill Zone looks great. But he's not in there for very long. He ends up using special warp rings because I think that's what they're doing with him now. And he goes to Earth, and it's pretty much like more of the same stuff we saw last time, but the way it's just cut, it's just more fun to watch. I got a few laughs watching this thing. Sonic, a few laughs like in a funny and kind of an ironic sense. There's a part of me that laughs with Sonic doing all these activities by himself, but it's also like, hey, it's kind of pathetic. He's playing ping pong with himself. He's playing baseball with himself. I was like, man, I can relate so hard. Why does nobody want to play with me? But no, it was funny. It was visually pleasing to the eyes to see. This is probably the kind of thing that Sonic would do if he found himself on Earth and didn't want to, like, you know, reveal his presence to anybody, but he can't help himself because he's just he can't stay still. Like, that's who he is. He has to keep moving. That's great. I unfortunately still don't have anything to say about James Marsden. Like, I like the dude. I think he's a good actor. I like the films that he's in, but it's like he's clearly supposed to be like the audience surrogate for those that don't know what a Sonic or Hedgehog is. And, you know, he's definitely just there. They're definitely playing up the whole, like, these two are going to be, like, friends to the end by the end of the film. And they're probably going to, like, use the power of friendship to help each other defeat Dr. Robotnik by the end. But speaking of Dr. Robotnik, I mean, I don't know what else to say that I haven't said already before in the initial, like, reaction video. Jim Carrey. I mean, you can argue that he doesn't really, like, fit the role visually, but I don't care. He looks like he's going to be the best part of this film. I love Jim Carrey. And just to see him still, like, even at his age, I think he's in his 50s now. Like, he's still rocking the same springy live action rubber man energy that, like, he's known for since the 90s. And if anything, if this movie ends up being, like, you know, at worst painfully mediocre, or, you know, it could be a decently great film. A decently great film. Is that a new word? I'm coining that right now. Decently great. It's like when you don't want to give it too much praise, but you also don't want to say it's outright shit. But Jim Carrey is looking to be, once again, the best part of the film. So if anything I can take away from it is that I enjoy Jim Carrey's performance. I love the man. So yeah, what else can I say? This trailer overall, I wish they started with this, you know, but, you know, hindsight's 2020. The redesign is fantastic. The trailer, the way it was cut, the way it was produced, was a great way of selling the film. You know, I'm looking forward to this film now. You know, it's still probably going to hit a lot of notes that we've seen a lot of times before in these kind of movies. You know, because at the end of the day, it is, I think, primarily still marketed towards the younger crowd, because that's who still buys a lot of Sonic products. It's the younger crowd, because Sonic is supposed to be for, you know, for children, all sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it looks like something I can still find some enjoyment of. And, you know, I'm not dreading this coming Valentine's Day anymore. You know, because I don't want to go to a movie and watch it ironically. And it is like, oh man, I can't wait to make a podcast review out of this. It's like, yeah, but did you actually watch it? Yeah, I watched the film, but it's like, I didn't watch the film. It was like, I came in wanting to hate it. But now with this new trailer, the way it's being sold, I'm excited for it. You know, I'm erring on the side of caution. It could still be, it could still be a bad film, but it can also be a good film. And this trailer has given me reason to believe that this is going to be at least a good film. So here's hoping. That said, I won't probably be talking about anything Sonic the Hedgehog movie related until the movie officially comes out. Folks have been asking if I'm going to do a podcast. Of course, I'm going to be doing a movie review podcast when it comes out. I can't guarantee it'll be the day of, but it'll be soon after, because, hey, you guys are here for my Sonic content anyway, so I have to fulfill that quota. Just check the box off the list. But that's all I'm going to say for today. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys with the beginning of the Resident Evil Marathon in a couple of days from now. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, or morning, or afternoon, and take care.